Oluchi, the mysterious Dada child. In the heart of an Igbo village nestled among rolling hills and thick rainforests, lived a humble couple, Mama and Papa Oluchi. They were known for their kindness and hard work, tending to their farm and raising their only daughter, Oluchi, with love and care. From the day Oluchi was born, her parents noticed something peculiar about her hair. Unlike other babies whose hair lay smooth and straight, Oluchi's hair was thick, curly, and seemed to lock itself into intricate patterns. Though her parents found it unusual, they thought it would change as she grew older. As Oluchi grew, her hair only became more tangled and difficult to manage. Mama Oluchi would spend hours trying to comb it, but no matter how gentle she was, Oluchi would cry out in pain. Often, after these combing sessions, Oluchi would fall ill with a fever, her small body shivering and her eyes dull with exhaustion. Worried for her daughter's health, Mama Oluchi began to wonder if the constant pulling and tugging of Oluchi's hair was causing her to fall sick. Desperate to find a solution, she decided one day to plait Oluchi's hair with black threads, hoping it would prevent the tangling and bring her some relief. That night, something strange and mysterious happened. The family went to bed as usual, but in the middle of the night, a soft warm breeze blew through their small home. It was a gentle, soothing wind, unlike anything they had felt before. The next morning, as the first light of dawn filtered through the windows, Mama Oluchi and Papa Oluchi awoke to find Oluchi's hair completely loose, the threads that had bound her hair nowhere to be found. Mama Oluchi gasped in astonishment. Papa Oluchi. Look. Her hair, it's as if the threads disappeared into thin air. Papa Oluchi's eyes widened as he examined Oluchi's hair. This is no ordinary occurrence, Mama Oluchi. Something beyond our understanding is at work here. Worried and curious, they decided to consult the village elders, known for their wisdom and knowledge of ancient traditions and myths. The elders listened intently to Mama Oluchi's recounting of the night's events, their faces growing solemn as they exchanged knowing glances. One elder, her voice filled with reverence, spoke up, "Your daughter is no ordinary child. She is Dada, a child born with the special blessing of the gods. The hair she bears is a sign of divine favor, and it should not be combed or altered. To do so is to invite sickness and misfortune." Mama Oluchi and Papa Oluchi were stunned. They had heard stories of Dada children, but never had they imagined their own daughter could be one. The elders explained that Dada children were considered sacred, often under the protection of the earth deity, and associated with prosperity and fertility. From that day forward, Oluchi's parents stopped making her hair. But they were still skeptical about the incidents. Mama Oluchi was particularly worried. She still could not believe that even the threads she used to tie could disappear just like that. She approached her husband and said, "Maybe Oluchi's cousins may have loosened the hair, but we failed to notice it. You know, it was already dark when they brought her back from the Saraka children's party they attended that evening." "My wife," Papa Oluchi began. "I have already asked my brother's children about it, but they did not do it. They even told me that everyone was admiring her new hairstyle, as that was her first time plaiting her hair." As the couple talked, their 8-month-old daughter Oluchi took turns staring at her parents, winking and smiling as though she knew something that her parents did not know about. Little did her parents know, the journey of understanding and embracing Oluchi's true nature had only just begun. The mysterious events of that fateful night were merely the first signs of the powerful destiny awaiting the Dada child. One bright market day, the bustling sounds of traders calling out their wares and the vibrant colors of fabrics and produce filled the air. Mama Oluchi walked through the busy stalls, her daughter Oluchi tied securely on her back with a colorful wrapper. Despite the lively atmosphere, Oluchi was unusually fussy, crying non-stop and wriggling uncomfortably against her mother's back. Mama Oluchi tried to soothe her as she bargained for some yams, but Oluchi's cries only grew louder, drawing the attention of those around them. Suddenly, An old woman with a weathered face and sharp eyes stepped forward and confronted a man who was standing nearby. "You?" The old woman pointed an accusing finger at the man, her voice loud enough to cut through the noise of the market. "You are to be held responsible should anything happen to this crying child." The market fell silent, and all eyes turned to the man, who looked bewildered and frightened. "Me? What have I done?" he stammered, holding up his hands in a gesture of innocence. "I only touched her in admiration. She is a beautiful child." The old woman narrowed her eyes. "And you say you did nothing to her? Why did you touch her hair? Can't you see that the child is a Dada? You must appease her." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd that had gathered. "Appease her," someone echoed. "Do it quickly." The man, trembling, opened his bag and pulled out a shiny coin. With a reverent expression, he placed the coin in Oluchi's tiny palm. Oluchi, still crying, looked at the coin for a moment. Then, to everyone's astonishment, she closed her palm, lifted her arm, and dropped the coin onto her hair. Immediately, her cries ceased, and she looked around with a calm and curious expression. The crowd gasped in awe, and the old woman nodded sagely. "The gods have accepted the offering. This child is indeed special." Mama Oluchi, holding her now quiet daughter, thanked the old woman and the man, her heart pounding with a mix of relief and wonder. She hurried back home to tell Papa Oluchi about the extraordinary event. When she reached their home, Papa Oluchi was already there, tending to the garden. "Papa Oluchi," she called out breathlessly, "you won't believe what happened at the market today." As she recounted the story, Papa Oluchi listened intently, his face growing more serious with each detail. "There is no doubt now," he said firmly. "Our daughter is blessed by the gods. We must take great care with her." Over the following weeks, more unusual events unfolded. Oluchi began to show an uncanny awareness of her surroundings. She would laugh and clap her hands whenever someone spoke of good fortune, and her presence seemed to bring a sense of peace and prosperity to their home. One evening, as the family sat outside their hut, enjoying the cool evening breeze, a group of villagers approached them, led by the village chief. "Mama Oluchi, Papa Oluchi," the chief said respectfully, "we have come to seek your daughter's blessing. The harvest season is upon us, and we believe that her presence will ensure a bountiful yield." Mama Oluchi and Papa Oluchi exchanged a glance. They had grown accustomed to the idea that their daughter was special, but the villagers' request was something new. "What do you wish us to do?" Papa Oluchi asked. The chief bowed slightly. "We ask that Oluchi be brought to the fields during the planting ceremony. Her presence alone will be a powerful blessing." The following morning, the village gathered at the edge of the fields. Drums beat a steady rhythm as men and women chanted songs of hope and prosperity. Mama Oluchi carried Oluchi to the center of the gathering, where an altar had been set up with offerings of yams, fruits, and kola nuts. As they stood before the altar, Oluchi reached out her small hands, her fingers brushing the offerings. A gentle breeze, similar to the one that had blown through their home that fateful night, swept across the fields. The villagers fell silent, sensing the presence of something divine. From that day on, Oluchi was seen as a blessing to the entire village. The harvest that year was more bountiful than anyone could remember, and tales of Oluchi, the Dada child, spread far and wide. People came from distant lands to see her, hoping to receive a touch of her blessing. And as Oluchi grew, the mysterious events surrounding her life continued, each one revealing more of the powerful destiny that awaited her. The journey of understanding and embracing her true nature had only just begun, and the village watched with bated breath, knowing that the story of Oluchi, the Dada child, was far from over.